everybody, and welcome back. This is the State of the Multiverse podcast. I'm Ryan, and I'm joined by.
John, long time no see.
And today we got a couple things to talk about. We're going to talk about the Snyder Cut for Justice League,
The
um,
long fabled cut that is finally here.
and then we're going to talk about the Infinite Frontier books that came out this month. We were supposed to do this 2 weeks ago, but I caught the COVID, and
And various other life related things happened.
yeah, so had to delay it a little bit. Couldn't really do a podcast. So I was coughing every 4 seconds.
Yeah, not with that attitude.
Oh, that's true. I should have just pushed through it. I'm just a coward, I guess.
That's okay.
Anyway, let's start with the Snyder Cut. So, just general impressions. What do you think?
I adored every second of it.
It was so much better.
It really was.
For example, I was able to watch all of it without wanting to jump off the nearest bridge.
Unlike the theatrical cut, which made you consider things.
Yeah, which I watched that movie twice, by the way.
Yeah.
That was a bad life decision.
I remember the first time you watched it, you said to like us and some of the other guys that you were like, It's not that bad."
Yeah, and then I thought about it.
Yep.
And then I kept thinking about it, and then I couldn't stop thinking about it, and it just progressively got worse. And I think my opinion of it got worse because I saw the Snyder Cut, because that was so much better.
That's what happened to me. Like the original cut of Justice League, it was like whatever. It felt like a Frankenstein mess that had an hour ripped from it, and then I saw the Snyder Cut and realized it was way more than that.
Yep, it was like 88% of that movie was different.
Yeah,
than
which is
what
insane.
Snyder had shot. It was ridiculous.
And like
classic Snyder fashion. There was a little too much slow mo.
That's one of my complaints with it. Yep.
There was like an 8-minute scene with the Flash and a hot dog that did not need to be that long or there at all, really.
Yeah.
That was the biggest offender, I thought.
My biggest complaint with the movie, let's see. Most of them are from the technological side. Some of the CGI was choppy, particularly with Superman. A lot of his stuff was choppy.
Yeah.
And I feel like the VFX team was definitely under some crunch.
Maybe not even crunch. It was just like this was a thing that wasn't even supposed to happen, so they probably didn't allocate a lot of money towards it.
Yeah.
It's probably just like a dude sitting there fixing up the Snyder Cut VFX.
You mentioned the slow-mo, which was my other gripe. And my third gripe, this doesn't affect me personally, but it's something that probably should have been in quality control. Actually, you know what? There's no probably. This should have been in quality control. There should be a photosensitive warning. A lot of the Flash's effects, and I mean a lot of them, could cause problems for those with epileptic tendencies.
Yeah, and so the Flash was one of the things that I had a problem with in the original one that carried over, and it's nothing to do with the actor. It's all to do with the effects. They went really hard on the effects for the Flash, and it looks really dumb.
Yeah.
Like, why is it when he moves 2 inches, an entire lightning storm occurs? That's not a thing. Like,
yeah.
There was absolutely no need for you to do that shit. Like,
yeah.
So
I actually really liked Ezra Miller's portrayal, the vaguely autistic like bachelor.
I like their version of the Flash. I'm perfect. I'm totally okay with like different versions of a character, and like a young Barry Allen who's really socially awkward and hasn't really come into his own yet. I'm super here for. I'm not here for a lightning storm when he wiggles his big toe. Unnecessary. Yeah. But yeah. So like, I'd give the Snyder Cut like a 7.5 out of 10.
Yep.
But because I watched it and compared it to the old Justice League movie, I'd probably give it like a 15 out of 10 comparatively. Because I sat through 4 hours of it in a day. I didn't watch it all at once.
Yep.
But over the course of a day, I watched like the first hour, then the second hour, and then I just watched the entire ending.
Yep.
And I mean, some of the problems that I have with this movie are the same ones that I had with the old one. I mentioned the Flash and his egregious special effects. I really did not like their version of Cyborg, not personality wise or actor wise, but the fact that he was like literally 98% CG and it didn't look good.
Oh, yep.
And I just think Steppenwolf is a shitty villain to have as your main focus for a Justice League movie.
I agree. Although I will say it's better that he has a little bit more of a motivation this time, in that he is a character.
They changed his armor too.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was a choice. What did you think about the armor that kept moving?
I thought it was cool. I didn't really have a huge issue with it. I really didn't have an issue with his design from the theatrical cut. I didn't think it was as cool as the Snyder Cut version, but like it was fine. His armor is cool. I'm like I said, I'm just glad that they gave Steppenwolf more of a character this time around.
Yeah, at least he existed. Whereas in in the other one, he was just big, strong Steppenwolf.
Exactly, and that was my thing with Cyborg too. He existed this time.
Yeah, his actual character was cool. It was just like anytime he was on screen, I didn't want to look at him because his CG body looked like garbage. It was super reflective.
Yep.
Like which doesn't mesh with the whole gray tone that the rest of the movie had. And then Cyborg shows up and he's like this shiny dude reflecting the not light that doesn't exist in the movie. Like, how do you feel about him sticking with the black and silver Superman costume instead of?
I liked it. I remember years ago, before like all of the stuff happened with Snyder's daughter and stuff, I remember Henry Cavill posting a photo to Instagram of him just chilling out in the black suit as a way to like tease it, and then it never ended up happening, so I remember being disappointed in that.
I was super here for it when he like put it on, but it kind of felt like a weird choice for him.
It was because there was real no need for it. Yeah,
it wasn't like in when he has the solar suit in the comics and he needs it because he's been dead. Like, there was no like real relevant reason for him to wear the black and silver, especially when he walks past the blue and red.
Yep.
Like, and he just is like, nah, fam.
That was just fan service. I'm
gonna dress like Zod.
That was just Zack Snyder going, they're gonna love this.
Yeah, so I don't know. Like, it's a really cool suit, and Henry Cavill, he fucking pulls that suit off.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I'm super here on board with the decision of just needlessly putting him in the edgy suit.
Yep.
When he's Superman.
How did you feel about Darkseid and Martian Manhunter?
So Martian Manhunter felt super irrelevant, and the scene where he's introduced into that movie was you said this to yourself, that it undercut the message of the entire scene that preceded it.
What he was in the very end of the movie, that I felt would have been fine.
Yeah, he could have just showed up at the end and it would have been totally.
Yeah, that was very much intended to be like the other post-credit scene, I feel.
Yeah, like that was cool. I liked him showing up. I liked that the Martian Manhunter got an appearance, and Darkseid being in the movie was such an important thing.
Yeah.
Because when in the theatrical cut, they like mention him. And if you don't know who Darkseid is, that doesn't mean anything to you. But in the Snyder cut, you see Darkseid tear shit up. And you see what Darkseid looks like, and it's much more impactful. You also, awesomely, we finally get to see some live action Omega beams.
Yes.
In the vision where he kills Aquaman.
Yep.
Underwater. And you get to see the zigzags. Ooh, that was
nice.
That might have been my favorite 3 seconds of the whole movie. Just seeing zigzaggy Omega beams. Like,
that was really, really good.
That was fantastic. But speaking of the end where Martian Manhunter shows up, the scene before that was 8 minutes that didn't need to be in the movie.
The nightmare scene?
Yeah, the nightmare with the Joker and...
Yep, I believe that is the only new scene that they filmed.
Yeah, that was dumb. I actually hated that. I thought that was so bad.
I didn't love it, but I enjoyed it, and I'm not going to pretend that I didn't.
Well, it just felt really irrelevant, because the whole movie is basically Bruce saying that they need Superman, and he finally trusts him, and then
Yeah.
that scene undercuts that whole message entirely, which is just, I don't know. Like, that was a
See,
weird choice.
one gripe that I have collectively with the movie, but like, and this is kind of like weird to word it, but it set up so many things that we are unlikely to see, like whether or
Unlikely,
not.
but my thing was, and I think I mentioned this to you, I mentioned this to a few people, is like, it kind of felt like they, back at their 24 hour of power, whatever it was called, the fandom,
Oh, yep, yep.
we got a lot of information on these movies that are coming up, and then we kind of later found out that a lot of them got pushed back further than they were supposed to. Like, Flash was supposed to come out like 3 years ago.
There was supposed to be a Justice League Part 2 last year.
Yeah, so a lot of this stuff got pushed back, and I don't think that was a coincidence. I think they really wanted to test the waters on this cut of the movie and
Oh, do you
see
think
how
like
people
WB had
reacted
some
to it.
stuff?
Yeah, cause like there was that huge Twitter campaign, and then everyone was like, "You're dumb. No one's gonna fucking do this."
And then they fucking did it.
And then a bunch of stuff got delayed, and then they actually did it. And those two
Yep.
things combined make me kind of think that they were maybe like, "All right, we have the Snyder Cut coming out. We're gonna let him do this shit. If people really like this, this might be our second chance."
Allegedly, clickbaity website hearsay. Allegedly, HBO Max really wants to do the Snyderverse, but WB really does not.
Well,
So
WB is real dumb if they
I
don't.
agree.
Especially because like they're just like they're racking up their second chances this year, right? Because we have the Snyder Cut, and then we have James Gunn's Suicide Squad, which is basically like no one's gonna think about the original Suicide Squad when this one comes out, and the Red Band trailer for that dropped a few days ago. As
Exactly. The trailer was really
fantastic.
weird. Yeah.
I mean,
Sylvester Stallone is King Shark.
Yeah. Dude, I know nothing about Peacemaker aside from we'll get into it later, but he's in the Infinite Frontier Suicide Squad. What a coincidence.
Yeah, huh?
But John Cena, bro, remember when John Cena was just like a meme and he would show up in movies and he was a really bad actor?
Yeah.
And now he's like an A-list star.
I feel like a character like Peacemaker will be perfect for John Cena.
Well, yeah, and I mean, James Gunn just came out here swinging with the obscure references like fucking Polka Dot Man.
Oh, yeah.
And their cast is great. I mean, you still got Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn.
Yep.
The most
and they intentionally cast
character.
Idris Elba as not Deadshot just in case Will Smith ever decides to come back.
Yep. That movie looks exciting. So I'm thinking like 2021 feels like their year of feeling it out for what people really want. And if they're smart, they'll do a Snyderverse. HBO Max has been killing it with their theatrical quote unquote releases.
Yeah.
That's probably the best thing that any streaming service has ever done.
I agree. Aside from like obviously finances and money, I feel like there's no reason just do the Snyderverse as an HBO Max thing and save your other stuff for the big screen if that's what like they really want to do.
Yeah, and like people are gonna pay to watch it.
Exactly. Just do. Yeah.
People are gonna be buying. I mean, people are gonna be paying for HBO Max because of this sort of same time theatrical release for free, which is insane.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Disney
Plus. Do we know if they're keeping that after 2021?
I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if they had like a rental fee after 2021.
Like kind of like what Disney Plus does.
Yeah, but I doubt they're gonna crank it to Disney Plus's level.
Yeah, that's what $30
to see Mulan.
Yeah, that's insane.
Like, you really think I'm gonna pay $30 to see Black fucking Widow? Get the fuck out! Absolutely not. That no one would have paid that before you sent out the review copies a year ago. Like, so yeah. Anyway, Snyder Cut. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I don't regret spending 4 hours watching it.
Same. I look forward to any potential Snyderverse things. WB, do it.
Yep, and it's been a long time since I saw that version of the Flash, so that made me more excited for the upcoming Flash movie.
Yeah.
That we've got coming up, because he showed up in the CW Crisis, which was awesome.
Yeah, that was
version of the Flash, and that version of the Flash is from the upcoming Flash movie.
Yes.
because it's like a pseudo Flashpoint is what they're going for. So
Yeah, allegedly the pseudo Flashpoint is going to like reboot their film universe, like the real Flashpoint. But again, that's all clickbait hearsay. So
they should
we
reboot
won't
it
know.
into the Snyder version.
I agree.
That's all they should do. They should be like, this is a preemptive Flashpoint release. This is what changed.
How do you feel about Pierce Brosnan being cast as Dr. Fate?
Bro, I'm so fucking excited for the Black Adam movie, and they keep adding good cast members.
Apparently, The Rock is supposed to make an announcement about it today, but he hasn't done it yet.
Oh my god.
As of the time of this recording, he put on his Instagram earlier today. Word on the street is that Black Adam himself is making an announcement today.
Bro, if I
Let's
get to
see what
see
he
him
has
in
in
the
store.
Black Adam costume. Oh
Let's see what he has in store as the hierarchy of power in the DC universe is about to change. Stay tuned. As of this recording, he hasn't dropped it yet.
Listen, all I'm gonna say is, this week I finally got to finish catching up on my JSA reading.
Yep.
And so I read 52, which is an awesome Black Adam story. I read the follow-up to 52, Black Adam. It was like a 6-issue miniseries where he gets his lightning back. And
Nice.
then I read the JSA series immediately after that, where he comes back and brings Isis back to life. And
sweet.
I've just been like on this Black Adam binge. JSA has made me a fan of a bunch of different heroes and villains that I never thought I would care about. And Black Adam's pretty high on that list. So like,
yeah,
The Rock as Black Adam, like, sign me up.
It's
so
a pretty
excited.
good time for Black Adam to join the Justice League in the comic books.
Oh yeah, what a coincidence, right? But all right, speaking of comic books, I think we've gone on about movies enough. We got Infinite Frontier.
It's time. Infinite Frontier has been out for about 3 weeks, a month now.
I think it's 3.5 weeks as of now. It's basically 4 weeks.
The new era of the DC universe where everything is canon, post Death Metal, post Future State. So,
which the only problem I have with is I feel like they should have kept Crisis on Infinite Earths canon and just gone back to Earth 1985 or whatever. New Earth, I think they call it.
Yeah.
But I do enjoy the fact that everything that I've read in DC is now relevant again, where a lot of it previously was not.
I'm pretty sure, since you mentioned Earth 1985, I'm pretty sure Doomsday Clock, with the shenaniganry that Dr. Manhattan did when he undid his shenaniganry, more or less merged New Earth and Prime Earth into the same place.
Yeah, Doomsday Clock, unfortunately, has basically just been retconned out of relevance in terms of its grand scale. Its actual story is still phenomenal, but
yeah, like it happened, and Infinite Frontier acknowledges that it happened, but I wouldn't expect any Watchmen crossovers for a hot minute
or ever.
Yeah.
We might. I think the best we're gonna get is sort of the Tom King Rorschach style book where it.
Yeah, it's just like a character.
Stuff, but you're not gonna see Batman with the homie Rorschach ever again.
Yeah.
All right, let's dive into Infinite Frontier 0.
All right.
This book was big. It was thick. It was juicy. It was
all
Rebirth #1 all over again. Unfortunately, not as good, but there's a lot of good stuff in here.
Not mean bad.
Yeah, not as good as Rebirth does not mean bad. That's a high standard to live up to. Yeah. So why don't we just go through the stories in order real quick? Because there were quite a few of them. I mean, we've got the overarching Wonder Woman story where she's with the Quintessence.
That was really fun.
That white outfit really does it for me.
Yeah, same. That's a really nice outfit.
That's a really cool costume. You get to see the Quintessence, which is nice. The Spectre guiding her around, sort of Kingdom Come style.
Yep. Who is it in the Quintessence? What is it? Phantom Stranger, Highfather, Ganthet, and who are the other two?
It's Phantom Stranger, Ganthet, Shazam, the Wizard, not the mortal.
Yeah. And Hera? Yeah, it's Hera.
Is it Hera?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So we have the Quintessence. Wonder Woman wandering around. First story we get is almost ripped directly out of Justice League 59, where they talk about Shazam.
Oh, yep.
And I really like the art style here. Again, all of this is just set up, so some of these little stories are sort of, I mean, they're
Yeah,
teeny
they're little
tiny.
teasers for like future books. Like this is a Justice League teaser.
Yep. Here we have a detective teaser, or sorry, this is a Batman teaser, the one with the birds of prey in it with Oracle and Huntress, and the Joker gas gets released. Grifter shows up.
Yep.
You got a lot of good stuff going on here.
I
Batman
really
shows his
enjoy
face.
Scarecrow's new design.
Scarecrow's new design is dope.
Also, your girl, Renee Montoya, back in the spotlight.
Yep. Unfortunately, not without a face, but that's fine. I'll take what I can get. I still gotta read that Harley Quinn, the Palmiotti Connor book, the oversized.
Oh, yep, the Black Label one.
Yeah, because Renee Montoya's in that one too.
Oh, sweet.
I gotta pick up Vic Sage too, because question. Of course.
Oh, yep.
Following...
I really liked the Wonder Woman story, or the Amazon story, as it were.
That's the one that follows Batman, where Nubia becomes the queen of the Amazons, and Polly leaves the island.
Polly leaves the island to go join the Justice Homies.
Yeah, and then you get the Wonder Girl story, which, again, the art and the writing, it's the same person who did the Future State.
Joelle Jones is just really good.
I love this art. I love it so much. I love her design. This one was only 3 pages total, and one of them was a 2-page spread.
Yeah.
I mean, you get a lot of character out of this. She knows sign language. She has the pugs, not drugs.
I was just about to bring that up because I was looking at that right now.
Yep. And then off to the side on that spread, the people on the right-hand side, one of them looks like she's wearing a very similar color scheme and design scheme to what we know Wonder Girl's costume is going to be.
Yeah,
so that's interesting.
They're Brazilian Amazon, likely.
Most likely, yeah. I'm interested to see where this goes. We're finally going to get our backstory on Yara Flor.
Yep.
So, this is good. A lot of good stuff.
Following up by Your Boys.
Yeah, Alan Scott, Obsidian, and Jade. Jade finally back alive.
Yep. After a brief cameo in Doomsday Clock 12, Jade and Obsidian back in action.
Same with Alan Scott, the boy. Finally, the main continuity, Alan Scott, has come out as gay.
Yep.
Which is, I think, a very important character to come out. I think we mentioned this in the last podcast, that this is, or maybe the second one, this is important because there's a lot of people who read comics back then who, because of when they grew up, never got to come out, and this is sort of an icon from the past.
And some of those people may not be around for, time, but still.
This was a little better later than never, but for sure.
And it works too because Obsidian is also gay, so he's able to help him with coming to terms and coming out with it.
Yeah, plus, I mean, these 3 together, so they're gonna be in the 6-issue miniseries. It's Jade, Obsidian, Alan Scott, Barry Allen, President Superman, then a couple other characters. So this little story is sort of a nice, here's Alan Scott.
Yeah.
He was gay on the Earth 2. He was gay in Justice,
Primer.
I believe. And so now we're finally catching this up. We're telling you that Jade is alive again. Here's Obsidian. And here's a little teaser for the Infinite Frontier 6 issue. This was one of my favorite stories. And it was only 4 pages.
For a lot of reasons.
Yeah, I mean, anytime anyone from the Justice Society shows up, I get real excited.
It's just fun to see them.
Yeah, I hope they get a book soon. I want them to have their actual book, but later in this we'll talk about why some of these other books make it seem like that might not happen. But we'll get there. So Titans Academy, this one was super short. It's just them showing up.
Chilling on the boat.
It's just them on the boat. That picks up in Titans Academy almost immediately after this. This one was fine.
I just noticed one of the characters on the boat is holding a copy of the new Teen Titans #1.
Is he? Yeah. Yeah, I
Yep.
see that too, actually. Yep. Someone's
Yep.
got the red X in their bag, which is a plot line that obviously is picked up in Teen Titans
Yep.
Academy. We knew that from Future State. It's I like we'll talk about it later, but I like Gorilla Greg. That following that up is
Superman.
it is Spectre slandering Jonathan Kent.
Yep.
That he's not Superman. And
No one.
he
Superman.
gives all these reasons, and then Jonathan Kent is just like, nah, just fucking kidding. And Wonder Woman puts Spectre in his place. Whenever the Spectre gets put in his place, that's always great.
That feel when you're just handing it to the embodiment of God's wrath.
Yeah, when the Spectre gives like 3 pages of reasons why he thinks 5 pages of reasons he thinks Jonathan Kent will be a tyrant. And then in 4 panels, Jonathan shows him why that's just wrong.
Yep.
That was great. I thought that was like a nice story because, as we'll talk about later, Jonathan Kent is the main character of Superman and Action right now.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah, Clark is in it, but it's very clear that Jonathan Kent is sort of the...
Yeah, it's all about the Superman of Metropolis.
Yeah. Following that up, we've got a very quick Dinah Green Arrow story. But, I mean, that's fine. They join the Justice League. Little Red Arrow teaser.
Yeah.
Since he's back again, he's not dead. They retconned Heroes in Crisis. I think everyone's happy about that one.
Yep, he's also going to be part of the Infinite Frontier squad, I believe, according to
he is.
solicitations.
He's on the front cover of Infinite Frontier 1, actually. Yeah, he's one of them.
Oh, nice.
Following that story, we have my favorite story in the whole book.
Stargirl.
Stars and Stripes.
Yep.
Just some classic Jeff Johns Stargirl action.
Yep.
You
want to talk about JSA? We got the 7 Soldiers of Victory with the Crimson Avenger.
Yep, and we know we're getting an 80-page 7 Soldiers Giant by Jeff Johns, and I believe it's the same artist that did this.
That's cool.
Let me find it so that I don't slander that poor person's name. Todd Knock. Colors by Hi-Fi.
Yep.
That team will be doing an 80-page in June, which I am so excited for. So far, that's the thing Infinite Frontier has solicited that I'm most excited for. Great art. Jeff Johns basically giving a rundown of Stargirl since people saw her on TV.
Yeah.
It's no surprise that Stargirl herself is getting a big title. Especially an 80-page giant, which is nice because we don't have to wait 6 months for it to finish. Just get 80 pages of 7 Soldiers of Victory.
Yeah, which is always good.
I'm super excited. I love that. Nothing more I can say about that one.
Yeah. And that brings us to the Batman story.
Yeah, I believe this one is the one that leads into Detective.
This one leads into a lot of things. I'm looking at it and I'm checking out the paneling.
I mean, yeah, there's some Nightwing teaser. There's a Punchline teaser. You got Red Hood, Clown Hunter, Catwoman.
Yep. Seeing the Gordon panel, the Harley Quinn panel, that's obviously a teaser for Joker and Harley Quinn.
Crazy, I know. Yeah. There's a lot of Batman set up, and then at the end of this, you get the I think this is the first official in continuity reveal of Scarecrow's new costume.
Yes, it is.
And it's fire.
Oh, yeah.
It's absolute flames. And following the Harley Quinn Future State, we both talked about how we liked Scarecrow in that book.
Yeah, Jonathan Crane is becoming a really cool character to me.
Yeah, and now here we are with this fucking plague doctor-esque Scarecrow costume.
I love like the syringe like needle claws.
Yeah, he's got the syringe needle claws. He's got like the pointy mask, but it's also a gas mask.
Yep.
This is cool. I generally am not a huge Batman fan. I'm only picking up both of their titles because Tynion keeps dropping new characters, so it's on my pull. just in case
Yep.
another book becomes $80.
Just in case a punchline happens again.
Yeah, and then Detective has the Tamaki Mora crew, which I adore. So, but a lot of these books have actually been piquing my interest a lot more than I thought they would, which is good.
All
Green
right.
Lantern teaser. This one was teased in Future State. We
Yeah.
already had this solicited. It was a cool 3-page story.
Yep.
That's...
I'm not a huge Green Lantern fan. Like, I'm going to pick it up. I'm going to give it a chance. I don't really care for Teen Lantern. But that's not going to stop me from checking out the book.
I don't really care for Teen Lantern either, but I think part of the problem was she was introduced in Young Justice. She wasn't in any other books for any relevant period of time. And there was like 10 members of Young Justice at one point.
Yeah, exactly.
So she didn't really get a chance to sign. I liked her in the Future State book, where she was on the Living Planet.
Oh, nice.
Mogu. Yeah, Mogu. They talk about Jess and Kyle Rayner, which is, we know where they end up. We know where a lot of these end up. So I just like to know. I'm about to start the Jeff Johns Green Lantern stuff, so I'm a little bit behind on my Green Lantern reading.
Yeah.
Got about 10 years to catch up on.
You got it.
But yeah, this is good stuff. I'm looking forward to Green Lantern. I'm trying to pick up as many Future State titles as possible. I think I've only missed one.
It was just Teen Titans that you need, right?
No, so actually, for Future State, I was missing the A cover for Teen Titans 1. And one of the guys in my LCS, he just pulled it out from behind the counter. I guess he saves a couple of the A covers just in case. And I got it for cover price. I didn't have to pay the 25 plus shipping or whatever it's going for on eBay right now. So that was a big win at the LCS.
Support your LCS, guys. Things like this happen when you do.
Yeah, never underestimate the power of being a return customer and talking to your LCS owner.
Yep.
They will help you out. But following the Green Lantern story, we got the Flash. The mantle is passed back to Wally West as Barry Allen decides to set out to the infinite frontier.
The Omniverse.
We get our first shot of President Superman in a post-death metal world. In one.
Now, the House of Heroes, I believe, is the center of the multiverse.
One of
Could
them.
Be wrong.
There's two centers. There's Elseworlds, and then there's
Elseworld and Prime Earth.
Yeah, there's two centers now, because that makes sense. Because that's how centers work.
Comic books. That's my answer.
Yeah. So people, I bet a lot of people are really happy to see Wally West come back, and now that means I have to go back and I have to read all the Wally West stuff to catch up on my Wally West.
Oh man, it's time to hit. Do Grant Morrison's JLA. He's the Flash in that, and also that's just a really good book.
Yeah, it's gonna be a real tough thing reading Morrison JLA and John's Flash. Whew. Those are terrible writers.
Oh yeah, only two of the most iconic in the industry.
They're the worst. You know who else wrote the Flash before John's? Mark Waid. So the Flash has gotten some pretty good writers. I'll have to get to him after I finish reading 3 Omnis worth of Green Lantern.
You got this.
And then following the Flash, which was a little heartwarming, I always like the Flash family's sort of interactions with each other. They feel the most like a family. Like the Bat family is a quote-unquote family.
The Bat family is too like drawn down by being the Bat family, and the Super family is too like textbook family.
Yeah, like it's literally his cousin Kara and his son Jonathan, and then sometimes Steel, if they really want to count him. And yeah, but then the Flash family is sort of like a family is what you make it kind of family. Yep. Not entirely, obviously. Like Wally is Iris West's nephew.
Yep.
So you have stuff like that, but then you just have Jay Garrick and his wife who just sort of like adopted the rest of the Flashes.
Yep.
And you have Wallace West and Impulse, who's from the future, and they don't know him, so
yeah,
even though he's blood related, it doesn't really matter, right? So you've got all these speedsters that just sort of make a family, and they talk about how they're having a get together at Jay's house.
Yep, and it's just good stuff.
Yeah, the wholesome. I sent it to you guys in the chat yesterday. Jay Garrick, the most wholesome man alive.
It's true.
He's one of those characters that the JSA made me like. It's like him and Alan Scott and Stargirl are like
Yep.
far and away some of my favorite characters, and they haven't been in anything in like 10 years. Stargirl was in Justice League of America, and then she vanished for 6 years after Rebirth. She just like didn't do anything. But following that, we get a lot of It was like, how many things can we preview in one 2-page spread?
Are you looking at the spread with Spectre and Wonder Woman walking?
Yeah, where they're walking across, and you have literally the cover for Supergirl #1.
Yep.
Swamp Thing, Titans Academy, Justice League Dark, Shazam,
whatever the totality is up to, we'll just treat that as an Infinite Frontier teaser.
Suicide Squad, Booster. So I just read Infinite Crisis, where Ted Kord gets killed. And Booster Gold in 52 gets to do a lot, and that was a really heartwarming story. And I like this very wholesome Ted Kord Booster Gold sort of hangout panel where they're just kind of chilling.
They're just buds.
I really like this Green Lantern panel because it has my favorite Green Lantern, Jessica Cruz.
Yep.
We talked a lot about how we liked the previous Aquawoman, or the future state Aquawoman. We got a panel with her in there. We got some Deathstroke.
Yep. Let's see what else we have.
We have that down at the bottom. You have that sort of the half Justice League, half Legion of Doom.
Yeah, that's the totality.
Yeah, the totality. Yep.
And we also have Lobo and Crush.
Yep. Who? I don't care for Lobo.
I also don't.
I love me some Swamp Thing, and I love me some Supergirl. There's a lot of stuff to love in this book. There's just. And then you have Wonder Woman, next page. She's like, nah, I don't want to join the Quintessence. I think I'm gonna go on my own little adventure in the God Sphere.
Just hang out there with the various pantheons.
She gets her new costume, which I really like in this art, but I wasn't super here for in the actual book.
Yep.
And then
this is a good spread. This reminds me a lot of the Rebirth spread.
Yep. And then you just got this two-page spread.
Yep.
Just everyone you could steal. Wonder Girl, everyone. Donna Troy is somewhere over here. Yep. Harley Quinn is upside down because of course she is.
Got Joe Mulligan, Green Lantern chilling into the left.
Yep. You got Alan Scott, Stargirl dead center, Stars and Stripes. They almost always end up in the center of 2-page spreads.
Yep.
If they're together. In the Doomsday Clock 2-page spread, they're in the middle of that one too.
Are they?
Yeah. You got Red X up in the corner. This was a fun book, and I really enjoyed it. And then, of course, Darkseid shows up and curb stomps Spectre right at the end.
Yep.
Literally curb stomps him. What a savage.
Darkseid is the end.
He's like the amalgam of all of the Darkseids now.
Yep.
Now that everything matters, Darkseid is like this ridiculous amalgamation of all these insane Darkseids that we've had over the years. So,
bro, Darkseid is.
Listen, Tom King on Supergirl. If he Mr. Miracle's Supergirl, I'm gonna be so fucking happy. Like, I can't. That's one that I'm looking forward to. But let's hop into these other titles. So we got the 2 Bat titles. As I mentioned before, I did not read Batman 106.
Yep.
I did read Detective. And I read the Robin backup story only in Detective because it was part 2, and I figured that was enough.
Yeah.
I was not gonna pick up Robin. I am now.
Yeah.
That was a cool little story. I sort of like them distancing Damian from Batman.
Me too.
So that might allow us to get a newer Robin. You know, we talked about how the Bat family isn't really of biological family, but you have Damian, and the second they sort of introduced Batman's biological son, they were sort of tied together.
Yeah.
As long as they're both alive, obviously.
Yep.
And then the battle for Gotham begins. We got it right here on the cover.
Oh, yeah.
The team delivered. The art was fantastic. This was a really good setup Correct me if I'm wrong, because this one was one that I read a little while ago, but this one felt more like a detective story, which is good because it's in Detective Comics.
Exactly. Instead of the more traditional, Batman versus deranged maniac.
Yeah, and I always prefer those stories.
Yeah. Because at his heart, Batman is a detective. That's
Yeah, he's
yeah.
one of the best detectives on the planet, and it's nice to see him actually do that.
Yeah.
That's something that always. That's sort of why, if I can find like a really good Batman story where he's a detective, that's probably gonna top my list of favorite stories. Like I love those detective stories. That's why I enjoyed a lot of the 52, where they were figuring out what Intergang was doing. That's why I enjoyed a lot of stories. That's why I enjoy a lot of TV. So,
Yeah.
Tamaki and Mora and Bel Air delivering, uh, Williamson and Melnikov delivering on Robin, making me want to read it. His
Yeah.
relationship with Talia has always been a little interesting to me because I've read his introduction by Grant Morrison. Um, and so his relationship with Talia has always been very interesting.
And it's nice to see that they're gonna explore that a little bit.
Yep, for sure. Now that she's forcing him to stay away and she's making him choose, do you want to be the assassin or the detective? And at the end of
Yeah.
the story, it looks like he's choosing the detective.
Which is good.
Like we just said, I mean, I love me some detective stories, and we know that Conor Hawk is returning finally.
Yep. After was he in the New 52 at all?
No, not to my knowledge, at least. I know
Mm.
that Emiko Queen was in the New 52, but I don't believe Connor was.
Yeah. And you said you did not read Batman 106?
I did not.
Oh, it was very good
I
because
so I have all of Tynan's run from 86 to now. One
yep.
day I just need to sit my ass down and read all of it up till now and just get caught up.
Yeah.
Because apparently it's very good.
It is. I jumped on with 106 and this one did not disappoint. It opens with the new Scarecrow being the savage beauty that he is, tormenting this guy in a chair with
Well,
his fear shenanigans.
that's all you can ask for from Scarecrow, really.
Yep. You get to see Oracle back in action as Oracle, albeit she's chilling in a regular office chair as opposed to a wheelchair.
Yeah, I like that they didn't totally revert her. Although I do understand that her being a or not a paraplegic, but paralyzed from the waist down. That's not
Yeah.
paraplegic is you can't move anything, right? I think.
No, paraplegic is waist down.
Okay,
You were
so
right
she's
the
a
first time.
paraplegic. I understand that that's a very uh, having someone handicapped in a comic book is very important. So
Yeah.
I don't think I would have hated it if they just put her back in the wheelchair. That'll probably be a future story because they talk about her implant in a bunch of books.
Yeah.
In like
I think
every
they're
book she
leaving it
shows
as
up
the
in.
implant just so if they want to make her the Batgirl again, they can do it.
Yeah, exactly. It feels like just in case they want to make her Batgirl again, but they could also just have the implant fail entirely and put her back in the wheelchair and make her Oracle again.
Yeah.
And I don't think I'd have a problem with either way, because like I said, I think the inclusion of a handicapped superhero is important for people reading comics who are paralyzed from the waist down. The representation matters. Having someone there who you can relate to is very important for anyone getting into the medium.
Hmm.
Next up, we
Moving
had
on.
Batman Superman. How'd you feel about this one?
I liked it a lot.
I didn't like it at all until the last 2 pages, and then I really liked it.
How did you read it?
I read it Superman, then Batman.
I did the same thing. And it's
that
cool.
Was really cool.
Yeah, it's cool that they're playing with the omniverse, clearly.
This is a perfect book to do that with too.
Yeah.
I liked what they were doing with it, but up until when Lois Lane falls from the Superman reel into the Batman reel, I wasn't like invested. Like I was like, okay, cool. Like this kind of feels like I'm reading a book from like the 40s, where it's just like
that was definitely the point.
Especially like they're clearly dated. Like
yeah, and like the characters, like the Spider Lady and such, they're from the old Batman and like they're from the old timey serials from like the 40s.
Yeah, and you would know that way better than me. I haven't read any of that stuff, which I should. I can't really.
They were definitely going for like what feels like an old radio drama.
And I don't really have a problem with that. But like when I picked up a Batman Superman book, I was like, oh sweet, Batman Superman, and it looks like these two Elseworlds versions of them are gonna team up. And then I was like, oh, it's two separate stories. And then I got to the end, I was like, no, it's not. This was a cool one, and Ivan Reyes' art is always a treat.
I am a big fan of the author Gene Luen Yang.
He did
he did New Superman. He did Superman Smashes the Klan.
That was I love that book.
Yep.
I understand it was for kids. It was awesome.
Yeah. But so yeah, they have a good writer on board.
Yeah, this is a good team. I don't know much about Miki and Rich, who I assume are the inker and the colorist, but this book came together really well. And so, like I said, I didn't particularly enjoy like the split stories and it being like kind of like an anthology, but the way that it was graphic design, the way that they brought it together, it was oriented. Like I liked the strip, the film reels, and like you could see the edge. This was like a sleeper book that, again, I didn't like, and then I read the last 2 pages, and I was like, all right, it all came together, and this is randomly one of the better books that I read.
And then it came together in, like, the main Earth.
Yeah, and especially because, like, I like this Superman costume.
I do, too. I like the shield.
I like the shield a lot, and I like this old-timey Batman costume, where, like, the ears are, like, a little bit bigger than normal.
Yep.
And that was all cool, and I love...
That was one of my favorite things with the Generations books, when they had the 1939 Batman.
Yeah, where he has the purple gloves.
Yep.
And then I don't know why, but I always like when Superman wears, like, a real belt.
Yeah, like... when they brought the trunks back, when Bendis brought back the trunks, I didn't care nearly as much as everyone else did. I wasn't upset about it, but I wasn't, like, celebrating.
I just read Kingdom Come, and he's got the belt, and I think that book may have turned me into an underwear with a belt fan, because that book's amazing, and that costume is...
That book's amazing for many reasons.
And that costume is used a lot when they want to make a Superman look really cool.
Yep.
So, yeah, Batman Superman, this was like a home run on a book that I bought just for the sake of buying pretty much everything.
Yeah, this is definitely one to like put on your pull list.
Yeah, definitely take a look at this one.
It gets both our seals of approval.
Both our seals of approval, and this is one of the $3.99 books, the ones that stayed that doesn't have a backup story. So if you don't like it, it's only $4. If you get a pull list at your LCS, they might even discount you. Support your LCS.
It's true.
Next up in alphabet, I'm going in alphabetical order.
Yep.
Would be Catwoman. I did not pick up Catwoman.
I did.
Hit me with some thoughts. How'd you feel about Catwoman?
It was fine, because like Ramvi is a good writer. This one felt, of all the books that I read, so you know how Infinite Frontier is the new era, it's starting the next like soft reboot type thing. Catwoman felt the least like it. There were a lot of callbacks to prior issues that I just didn't read. So it wasn't new reader friendly.
Gotcha.
As much as some of the other books here. But overall, the story was fine. A cop is going around that they had met in prior issues that I did not know. Which really, it's my fault for not reading the books, but...
There's a lot of Catwoman stuff. I mean, that prior series was pretty long, so
yeah.
I can't blame you.
Exactly. So I figured I would jump on with, the new starting on point, but this one didn't really feel like a starting on point. The art was like... I didn't love the art. Can't think of the artist's name at the moment.
That's all right. Sometimes art just misses.
Yeah, but the story was fine. It's one that I don't think I'll be able to relate to until the arc finishes. Well, not relate to, but you know what I mean. Like a full opinion on.
Yep. There's a few books that I think are like that, and we're coming up on another one real quick as the next one alphabetically. Crime Syndicate,
including the Flash, because it's not out yet.
Yeah, the Flash comes out this upcoming Tuesday.
Yep.
So
what's next? Crime Syndicate?
Yeah, up next.
Oh, actually, did you read Batman Urban Legends? All right.
I did not.
I did. It was one of them anthology books. It was fine. Some of the stories were cool, but I like Grifter, so I liked the Grifter story, but
Okay, cool. I'm glad that Grifter's in more things. There's another character that shows up later in Infinite Frontier that I was glad to see more of too. How about have you been reading the digital first, the next Batman story?
oh, Second Son?
Yeah.
I read the first two. I have not yet read the next two,
Okay.
but I've been liking it.
All right. So, quick side note: a few days ago, DC announced that all of those digital first, oh geez, what's the publisher? Not Wildstorm.
Milestone?
Milestone. All of those digital first milestones are actually just going to be in print on the same day.
Yeah, they were going really ham with Milestone. The digital first in print, and they're going to be on DC Universe too, day
free.
of.
And we're getting the compendium, which is like everything prior, and it's only $60.
That's really good. It doesn't have like the full series for a lot of them, but it has like the first two arcs. So like a lot of people know Static Shock from the cartoon, but if peeps are looking to get into like Icon and Rocket or Hardware, this is
definitely picking it up because I'm really excited. Again, more characters, more representation, more ways to learn about more different people. Comics are the best way that I have to do that, I think. So, because I'm afraid of real people. So, comic books. So I'm really excited for all this milestone stuff coming out. I gotta start picking up the other history of the DC universe, that series.
Oh, by John Ridley.
Yeah, I think that gets collected soon, so I'm gonna read that too.
Nice.
But all right, side note done. We come up on Crime Syndicate. Welcome to Earth 3.
What was that? Oh yeah, Earth 3, Crime Syndicate. What were your thoughts?
So we talked a little bit about this. I don't like a lot of their character designs because they're very different from my first introduction to the Crime Syndicate was in Forever Evil.
Yep.
So those character designs are my favorite versions of these characters. And like Johnny Quick looks really dumb to me. I know this. He used to look like this. That was his old design. Is the one that he has now. But I like him with like the helmet and
same. Yeah, I didn't care for a lot of their designs. The book itself just seemed like here's a fun mini series for the Crime Syndicate. Again, it's only issue 1, so it could be cool.
This could be a dope 6-issue miniseries, but it starts out like tee-hee, here's the Crime Syndicate fighting the Justice League's first enemy. It's Starro.
Yeah.
Which
it's weird when I look at
that is the Starro was the Justice League's first. It's when they first teamed up was Brave and
It's true. Brave and the Bold 28.
Yep. Versus Starro. So.
Yep. So one thing that the Crime Syndicate, just the existence of that book, gives me. I'm looking at the the Infinite Frontier lineup, and we know there's been rumors for the last year or so that DC is shutting down publication, blah blah blah, all that nonsense that clearly isn't true. The existence of the Crime Syndicate book just kind of says they're not going anywhere. Because if they really were thinning out massive publications, why would they waste energy on the Crime Syndicate when they know it's not going to sell as well as
you would
any
never,
other book here, I don't think.
You would never piss away resources on a book like Crime Syndicate is a book that only people who read DC and love DC and know about the Crime Syndicate is going to read.
Exactly. And if they were really looking to like axe the publication, they wouldn't do that.
No. Especially like you can tell like they know this book's not going to sell well. It's a 6-issue series. Limited series aren't made because they think that they only need 6 books to tell a story. They're made because they're pretty sure they won't sell super well. And then if they do, oh, look at that. We decided to make it an 8-issue series. I don't know. Like, so we might end up seeing that one of 6 change if maybe this sells better. The team, I recognize 3 names on the cover of the book. Schmidt, Hitch, and Sinclair I know of. And I can't think of anything any of them have done that I've disliked. McCone, Vines, and Olaf I don't recognize the names for. But again, a lot of these books have actually been very well put together, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Like, like, no, I get what you mean. Like the art is complementing like what's going on in the story really well, and they got like good collaborative groups to do it.
Yeah, a lot of these books are feeling that way. But Crime Syndicate, I would tentatively say pick this up. It's 6 issues. Again, it's another one of those $3.99 books. just be aware that maybe this isn't for you. It's the Crime
Yeah.
Syndicate.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
One thing I did really like was they gave more background to Ultraman. Like they showed
Yeah,
his
instead of
towards
just
the
being
end.
bad Superman.
Yep. There's a lot of things about the Crime Syndicate I like. How like they only save the world so that they could keep fucking it over. Like
Yep.
that's kind of, like that's just goofy in and of itself. And the Crime Syndicate series I was pretty interested in because the Suicide Squad book the Future State book took place on Earth 3.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so the Future State Suicide Squad book is Amanda Waller goes to Earth 3 and turns it good using her Suicide Squad. And then Peacemaker comes over from Earth Prime and or not Earth Prime, Earth Zero, whatever Earth we're on.
They're the same thing. Prime Earth and Earth Zero are the same thing.
So yeah, so Peacemaker brings the Suicide Squad over from there to bring her back to fix something she fucked up. So we're probably gonna learn a little bit about how the Crime Syndicate got to where they are, and later in this stack of chronological order, we learn more about the Suicide Squad. So
yeah.
Next up, so there was a week that only had 2 books, if I remember correctly, and this was my favorite week by far. It was Justice League and Nightwing.
Catwoman was part of that week as well.
All right,
well,
but fuck Catwoman. We got Justice League and we have Nightwing.
2 very good books.
I loved Justice League.
Me too.
And Bendis has had a pretty Bendis has had a very Tom King like run at DC.
He's been a little hit and miss.
This as a book felt like a huge hit for me.
Yeah.
I mean just the lineup for Justice League was like, I love this lineup. As I mentioned earlier, I'm super here for Black Adam.
Yep. And it's cool seeing Hippolyta hang out with the gang.
Yeah, we've got some Justice Society. So half of this team are Justice Society alums.
Yep.
With Black Canary, Hawkwoman, Black Adam, and Hippolyta, they've all been on the Justice Society. And then you've got more Green Arrow, and they've brought back the Hood. I love the Hood for Green Arrow. Naomi showing up, aged a little bit, but not too much.
Yep. And so a little bit of time has passed since her miniseries in Wonder Comics.
And then you've got, your classic Batman, Superman, Aquaman. Like this.
Yep.
This is just cool. And then the backup for Justice League Dark with Merlin.
I love that this was very clearly the plan. I love that a lot of the titles are tying into their Future State titles.
Me too, especially because they're continuing the Future State line. DC Solicits came out the other day, and they solicited Future State Gotham as its own book.
Yep.
So the Future State line is continuing. Imperious Lex comes out this Tuesday, which will finish up the original run of DC Future State titles. But when we thought it was weird that Future State was overstaying its welcome, it makes more sense now that we know they're going to keep up with the Future State as like a sort of second imprint.
Yeah, which I am more than okay with.
So Justice League story, you have Black Adam sort of returning to his Justice Society era deal where he was like kind of trying to be a hero.
Yep. It's not completely unrelated to the movie coming out. Just remember that. Has nothing to do with that.
Yeah. I bet. I don't think he would be on the team if that movie wasn't something people cared about.
Yeah.
But I digress. I think, again, this is a cool team. Hippolyta isn't in the book. She's on the cover, but she's not in the book, which is not.
Yep. It's actually worth noting It's actually worth noting really quick about Hippolyta and Black Adam. This isn't their first time teaming up. In the Endless Winter event from 2019, 2019 from 2020, last December, you learned that the two of them were part of a really old Justice League incarnation to deal with the Endless Winter event. So it'd be cool if they continue that, if they touch upon the fact that they were former teammates.
That's cool, because I haven't read Endless Winter. I picked up the Justice League Dark and Black Adam issue for completionist's sake, because I didn't want to run it. It was the only Justice League Dark issue I didn't have. I wasn't just going to...
you were just going to not get it.
That would hurt my brain. Yeah. My pea-brain couldn't handle it.
I feel that.
Yeah, and I mean, like I said, they were both on the Justice Society, too. I'm not sure if Hippolyta ever showed up while Black Adam was part of the Justice Society. It's been a while since I read that part, but... and then you have Brutus as the bad guy. He gets attacked by sharks. He is from the same planet as Naomi, as we learn at the end.
Yep. So he could be related to I can't remember the character's name, but the one who came for Naomi.
Yep. This book had a lot of promise. You had some nice Black Canary, Green Arrow banter, asking why the fuck they're on the team because they're Black Canary and Green Arrow. How are they supposed to do anything? Which, of course, any good writer can make it so that even characters like that shine.
Exactly.
And then I'm glad that Justice League Dark is continuing. That was the book that got me into DC Comics. Was the Tynan run. It's being continued by Romvey in the backup story. It was a cool backup story. I can't wait to see where it goes.
Same.
Because of some of the characters that are missing from the Justice League Dark lineup, it kind of feels like more like the Shadow Pact, but that's a whole other thing. All right. This is not a hot take, I don't think. Personally, for me and for a lot of people, best Infinite Frontier book yet. Nightwing 78.
Yes,
Easy.
I'm inclined to agree.
I mean, Tom Taylor finally getting some more love in the main DC universe. I mean, last year we had his Suicide Squad run. Now he's picking up Nightwing. And I've never read any Nightwing stuff specifically. I've always liked Dick Grayson, and he always centers as part of like this sort of feeling that people have as he's sort of like the pinnacle of what a hero can be. I mean, you have Superman, who's like the very overstated normal version of like this is a perfect superhero.
Yep.
And then you have Nightwing, who people like Superman look up to. Nightwing is like this. I as I mentioned earlier, I read Infinite Crisis again, and the basic premise is that Superman from Earth 2, Kal-El, just the L, is trying to bring back Earth 2 because he thinks it was the perfect Earth because all of the people on Earth 1 were corrupted and wrong. And one of the things that sort of sways his opinion is Batman asks him, is Dick Grayson any worse on my Earth?
Yep.
And Superman and Kal-El is like, no, he's not. And then he flies away. So Nightwing has always been this sort of wholesome paragon of what is right.
Yeah, exactly.
And in 24 pages, Tom Taylor nailed it. He saves a three-legged puppy, Bitewing.
Yep.
We get to see Oracle again. She's in a few books, which is nice. As Barbara Gordon. It's hard to say anything. It sets up an interesting story too. You get the note from everything about this book. It's just
it's just, I mean, we can talk spoilers. It's Alfred left Dick his fortune,
billions of dollars.
Yeah.
Which is fantastic because in Detective Comics you find out that Bruce Wayne is basically dirt poor.
Yep. He's dirt poor from the events of the Joker War.
Yep, and so was Nightwing, and then you find out that Alfred left him everything, which again
solely on the basis of he just knew he was going to do the right thing with it.
Yep. Again, Nightwing is he's the hero's hero. And you can see a lot of good things coming from this. And Tom Taylor on Twitter said that he's going to be on this book till at least issue 100. So, a lot more Tom Taylor Nightwing coming up.
Oh, yeah.
He also did tee-hee, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Tim Drake will be showing up in Nightwing.
Oh, nice. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, if you follow him on Twitter, he responded, someone tweeted at him, like, will Tim Drake show up? I like when Tim Drake and Dick Grayson interact. And he was like, tee-hee. So I'm a big Tim Drake fan. He's my favorite Robin.
Yep.
This is exciting. I can't say enough good things about this book.
Yeah, no, this is, if there's one Infinite Frontier book you pick up, make this the one.
Nightwing for sure. For sure. And then, of course, following a pretty big gap in the alphabet, we're skipping from Nightwing to Suicide Squad.
I liked it a lot.
I'm excited to see where it goes. In very true Suicide Squad fashion, everyone dies in the first issue,
Yeah,
except for Peacemaker.
except for the movie crowd.
Yeah, and so I mean, this is a setup issue, and it feels like a
Yeah,
setup issue, but it sets up some really good stuff. It sets up the reason that I decided to pick this up, which is that Connor Kent is being held hostage by Amanda Waller
yep.
and basically being forced to join her Suicide Squad. And this was good, good art. Again, DC's been killing it. Um, I like Peacemaker.
I do too.
I like his costume. It's
At first glance, he kind of reminds me of Orion from the New Gods.
yeah, they look super similar.
Even though they are very, very different characters.
Oh, for sure. I'm just very here for like these overly simplistic costumes. Like he's got a ridiculous helmet and then he just basically just got a t-shirt. Like,
yeah. He's John Cena. That's all he is.
He is John Cena. To me, Peacemaker is going to be John Cena because I didn't know much about Peacemaker at all before this, and now
Same.
John Cena's in my comic books. This is a good one. I enjoyed
What a
this.
world.
Breaks into Arkham Asylum to break out one guy.
Yep.
Gets 3 people killed in the process, so that's not a net gain for Amanda Waller, but yeah. This is one that I'm excited to see where it goes.
Me too.
Right. Next up is sort of a pair, Superman 29 and Action 1029.
Yeah.
They are both part of the Golden Age story.
The Age story.
They're both written and illustrated. They have the same creative team. It's Johnson, Hester, Gapster, and Hi-Fi. They're on both books. The art is a little stylish, but I don't dislike it.
Yeah, it's not as stylish as a certain other book on this list, which we will get to.
But I liked the main Golden Age story. I sort of like the message that it has.
Me too. It makes you wonder if they're setting up a certain something. But
so my theory is that for the foreseeable future, I think Jonathan Kent is going to be Superman.
Yeah.
And then Clark Kent is going to be on the Justice League and in other books.
Yeah, but like the Superman book is going to be Jonathan Kent.
I think that this might be somewhat of a response to the Superman and Lois show.
Yep.
Where Jonathan Kent isn't getting the love that he usually would get in the comics. Also, Jonathan Kent's a very popular character.
It's true.
Ever since he came out, or ever since he showed up in Superman and Lois, the comic book, not the show.
Yeah.
Right before DC Rebirth, and then in the Super Sons is extremely popular.
All of the Super Sons stuff is good.
Yeah, I love the Super Sons stuff. I really need to read the most recent stuff. Unfortunately, I bought the Omni, but I got like the old version for $30. So
that's not bad. Better than nothing.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was a good deal. But I missed out on the 16-issue series that followed. That ended recently, and then there's digital first stuff is out or coming out.
Are you just gonna wait until it's in print?
Yeah, and I'll just pick it all up.
Yeah.
A cool story about this rift in reality sets up a little Star Labs.
Star Labs stuff.
Star
Labs Amanda Waller stuff.
The radiation coming from the parallel universe can hurt Superman, but not Jonathan Kent. Jonathan Kent has been with the Legion for a while, and he knows, quote unquote, that this is when Superman dies.
Yep.
And then
that's what I meant earlier. Setting up another death of Superman, or do you think they're just gonna like red herring it?
I think it's a red herring. You can't. It won't have impact. No one will give a shit if you kill Superman again. That's a one of. You can kill Batman as many times as you want. You can't kill Superman more than once.
Yeah.
These were good. I didn't like the backup story for Superman.
What was that? That was the Metropolis one.
Yeah, Tales of Metropolis. I did, however, really like the Midnighter backup story.
Me too.
For Action 1029.
It's just cool seeing the Wildstorm characters, back and doing things.
Yeah, in our previous podcast, I talked about how I really enjoyed the Midnighter parts of the Worlds of War. So I was excited to read that. This also looked like it was just a 2-part story. I'm looking at the covers right now, and the tagline for Superman 29 is "A father falls, ellipses," and then
A sun rises.
1029 is a sun rises, so it's a full sentence. I think this is just a 2-part arc to sort of get that point across that Jonathan Kent, again, in Infinite Frontier Zero, we talked about how Wonder Woman smacked up the Spectre, telling him that Jonathan Kent is Superman. These two issues,
whether he likes it or not.
Yeah, these 2 issues I felt were exist to affirm that to us. Jonathan Kent is Superman. He'll do what needs to be done. He doesn't need his father anymore. He's Superman. And that's why I think Superman's probably going to get relegated to the Justice League for a while.
Yeah. One book I want to talk about next is one that I was not expecting I was going to like. The Joker.
Yes, I did not pick it up because it was called The Joker, but you briefed me on what it's about, and I'm a little annoyed that I didn't get it.
Yeah, I picked it up just because it's the start of the initiative. I was going to pick up everything and, stick with what I like and drop what I don't. So the cover of The Joker is not reflective at all of what is going on in the book. The book is not about the Joker. It is about Jim Gordon. And basically his trauma and PTSD and all of the terrible things that have happened to him as a result of the Joker.
Yeah, I want to read that book real bad.
Yep. And long story short, he's basically given, an underground contract to hunt the Joker down and kill him, which he is reluctantly going to do, as the Joker is hiding out in some tropical paradise in the fallout of the Joker War.
We've discussed how I like detective stories, and this is right up my alley. And if this had been called Gordon instead of the Joker, I would have bought 2 copies.
Yeah. The art of the cover is not remotely like the interior art. The interior art is dark, it's dreary, it's a detective art style, versus, the Joker being all swanky and chilling out on a floaty. That's not indicative of what is in this book at all.
That was I understand why it was marketed as the Joker and why the cover looks like that.
Yeah.
That was straight up a deterrent for me, and now I'm annoyed that I didn't pick the book up.
The Punchline backstory is fine. It's Punchline.
Okay. A character that has more staying power than either of us thought she did.
Yep.
But
Harley Quinn. Did you read Harley Quinn?
I did not. That was one of the I skipped Catwoman, Harley Quinn, and Joker, I believe, were the 3 books that I didn't pick up for the Infinite Frontier logo.
Yep. Harley Quinn was fine. She's returned to Gotham to try to make amends. So because DC has slowly been pushing her more into the hero section of anti-hero, which is fine.
Yeah, I replaced her with Punchline. I have no problem with it.
Yeah. I don't like the art. Okay. I'm sorry. Riley Rossmo is a better artist than I will ever be. I do not like his art style.
Sometimes it works like that.
Yeah, it works for a character like Harley Quinn. It does not tickle my fancy.
Yeah. You sent me a couple pages. I'm also not a fan of it.
Yeah.
Not to be a dick, but it feels like Peach Momoko light.
Yep.
A little bit. I don't want to be rude again. You said it. He's a better artist than I will ever be. But yeah, Harley Quinn never tickled me as a character in the first place.
Same.
Couple that with art that I'm not super here for. I don't have a problem missing that book. Next up, we have Swamp Thing.
How did you feel about this? Because I know you are the Swamp guy.
So, I'm a really big Swamp Thing fan, but I also really like Alec Holland, and Alec Holland isn't in this book. That said, this is a 10-issue series. This doesn't start, as far as I know currently, any character that has any backstory. So
not that I know.
This is a perfect jumping on point if you ever had any interest in the Green. Maybe you like Poison Ivy, and she's an avatar of the Green in some way.
Yeah.
Or she's connected to it. She's not an avatar. Swamp Thing is the avatar of the Green. This is a good starting point. Like I said, characters with no backstory, a concept that's very abstract. This feels like once we get through all 10 issues, this will be a book that we can judge. I'm a Swamp Thing fan. I enjoyed it. I liked the art a lot.
Yep. It's a horror book, which is good.
Yes. This Romvi, you have Perkins and you have Spicer. This is a team. This is a good team.
Yep.
The colors, the art, the inks, fantastic. The story.
It's all good.
Confusing.
We can't judge the story until it's done. This is going to be a slow burn that's going to take 10 issues.
And I'm very here for it. I mean, this is my... Let me make sure first. I'll just look through everything real quick, but I think this is my favorite cover. Yeah, this is my favorite cover from all the Infinite Frontier books I got, by far.
Yep.
Before
we move on,
tied with Justice League, but this was... I like this.
Before we move on, can this character exist with Alec Holland? Can there be multiple Swamp Things?
So, again, like I said, this book was like a little confusing, which is sort of like a Rom V special.
Yep.
His books are a little confusing at the start. I don't know if he's actually an avatar of the Green or if he's just connected to the Green. Because you see the Swamp Thing in the book with the orange bubble and stuff.
Yeah.
Like the orange speech bubble. And I'm probably gonna read this book again when the second issue comes out. But I don't know, like that could have been Alec Holland. When you see
just, like,
the orange speech bubble.
A new character.
Yeah, but the book was very clearly centered around a new character.
What's his name? I can't remember. Levi?
I also can't remember. Again, I gotta reread this one a couple times.
Yeah.
This is, again, like I said, it's a Rom V special. His art is his storytelling is a little confusing at the beginning, but it always kind of works itself out.
Yeah. We'll see how it is at the end, I guess.
Yeah, this is one I'm excited to see where it goes. Swamp Thing is my favorite character in comics.
Levi Kamei is the new character's name.
Yeah, and he's a biologist, right? He's a botanist.
Yes.
Man, who does that sound like? But that's not at all surprising for someone connected to the Green.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is an interesting book. As I mentioned earlier, so Harley Quinn you didn't like, and usually Poison Ivy has been showing up in a lot of Harley Quinn stuff because they're together.
Yes.
So I'm about to start rereading the New 52 Swamp Thing, and there's some good stuff about her connection to the Green and Swamp Thing in the New 52 run of Swamp Thing. So I think it'd be cool to see her show up, but she's not exactly a horror character.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is definitely my favorite cover. I like the reddish orange.
Me too. It's a good cover to see.
Good. Yeah, that is like the pinnacle of Infinite Frontier book I need to let finish before I I'll withhold judgment.
Can properly judge it.
Yeah. Teen Titans Academy.
All right. This was do we want to talk about this one last? Do we want to do Wonder Woman first?
Yeah, we can do Wonder Woman first.
All right.
Wonder Woman. So the art is pretty good. I feel like the faces on the women look a little odd.
They do.
I know, like, that's not I liked the story a lot. I didn't care for the backup about young Diana. It felt inconsequential, and like I didn't need to read it. And generally speaking, I'm okay with the $1 increase on books for backup stories. This is the only one that I picked up where I was like, I really didn't need this. Well, I guess Superman too, but this one especially.
Yeah, I didn't care for the young Diana backup either.
Yeah, like, cool, the adventures of young Diana. Well, Diana's dead, so.
Yeah. I don't know how I feel about this, like, this characterization of Diana in the Nordic afterlife.
Well, she has her memory erased. She has amnesia, so any kind of weird character stuff, I guess we can just attribute to her having amnesia.
That's true.
Like I said, I liked her new costume. Siegfried is really hot, which is...
Yeah, like, that helps.
I'm here for it.
Oh, sorry to interrupt, but I just got a little tweet message from DC. Black Adam's new date, July 29th, 2022.
Yes. That's right near my birthday. I'm having a Black Adam themed birthday party in 2022.
Heck yeah.
I'm going to dress up like Black Adam. I have a year and a half to get swole.
You got this.
All right, that's awesome. Okay. Did they tweet? Was there a picture?
I only saw it from my watch. I'm checking it out right now.
I'll hop on too just to check. But
they're better than a picture.
Better than a picture.
No, better. There better be a
picture. Yeah, there better be a picture. But But anyway, while you're looking for that, and while I'm looking for that, Wonder Woman.
It's not a picture. There's a little video, which it's just like a little video of a bunch of monitors with the film logo and then the date.
Okay, that's a bummer. I'd like to see The Rock in a Black Adam costume, but you know what? I'm okay. We have a date. We have
good things
JSAers.
Meanwhile, all right, back to Wonder Woman.
Back to Wonder Woman. I'm excited to see where this goes. There's a lot of things that this story could do that no other Infinite Frontier book can, aside from Swamp Thing. I guess technically Swamp Thing can sort of venture into this God Sphere, Sandman sort of plane of existence.
Yeah, the God Sphere is fun. There's a lot of stuff they could do. They could hang out with, like you said, the Endless with from Sandman, which I highly, highly doubt they will do. But it's lore speaking, it's not impossible.
It is an option.
Yes.
It's nice that they
I think she's basically going to be like journeying through all of the world's pantheons. Like we're starting with Nordic. I wouldn't be surprised if she goes to like
Egyptian, and then.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's a lot of cool stuff that we could see.
Probably 3 years from now, ending at Olympus, and that's how Diana returns to the main universe.
Yeah, probably. Which will happen at some point.
She's Wonder Woman. But you know what? I'm always here for Hippolyta being Wonder Woman for a little while. Yeah, this is a cool book. I'm excited to see where it goes. This is another book that we really have to reserve judgment on.
Yeah.
Because
this is Wonder Woman is going to be an arc by arc, I think, as opposed to an issue by issue.
Yeah, especially because again, the implications and potential for this book are very high. So like this could potentially fizzle in the last issue of this arc, or this could end up being like absurd, and like, you know, the last issue she meets death. Like, you know, like you could get some crazy stuff. You could get some really sort of fizzly, disappointing stuff. I liked their sort of interpretation of Valhalla.
Me too.
There was a cool thing. I like her her new costume. Her sort of Nordic her
like the Viking
her Vikingized costume, I guess you could say.
It's really cool.
Again, Siegfried's pretty hot.
Yeah.
There's a problem with the Valkyries, I believe. That's sort of the conflict that's introduced in this book.
In this issue, so that'll be the issues for fun times in Nordic land.
Yep, this one is cool. I'm interested in seeing where it goes.
And lastly, what do we have? Teen Titans Academy.
Teen Titans Academy. This was the one that had the most hype behind it.
Yeah, this is the one that they were really building on. Well, banking on, I guess I should say.
Red X. And of course, the star of the comic book Gorilla Greg.
Yes. See, I mentioned this before when Future State was happening. I'm surprised it took this long to integrate Red X into the comics, given the popularity of the Teen Titans cartoon and just the popularity of the Red X character.
Well, so Nightwing was Red X at one point in the books. Because they talk about it in Titans Academy.
They do, but it never happened in books.
Oh, so this was like a post-death metal retcon.
Yes.
Previously they added it. They retconned the
Yeah, because I remember when they were during the Future State Teen Titans, everyone was hyping it up because it was Red X's first appearance in comics.
Okay, gotcha. Like I said this to one of our friends. I hope this doesn't turn into a oh God, what was it called? Remember in Donny Cates' Venom run, there was that new character.
Oh, where they just like showed up for a panel.
No, they showed up for 3 books, and then 3 books later, you found out it was Matt Gargan.
Oh, right. I remember you and them talking about it.
Yeah, because his first appearance was like a $40 book, and then it was Matt Gargan.
And then it just tanked.
Yeah, so hopefully they don't do that to Red X.
Yeah.
Virus. His name was Virus. He had like Iron Man armor, and he flew a Goblin glider, and he threw pumpkin bombs, and people were like, "This is the next big character. Here it is, Virus."
Yep.
And then it was Matt Gargan. I was like, all right, have fun getting your first appearance of the Scorpion. Like, what, ASM 24 or something like.
Yeah.
So hopefully they don't do that to Red X. So far, the only thing Red X related was that someone gave Dick the mask for his birthday.
and like the little holograms that were appearing.
Yep, I liked the birthday party. This book feels more fun than a lot of the other ones.
It does.
Like a little more
Um,
lighthearted, but there's like a little bit hidden underneath.
yep, a lot of new characters were introduced here.
Yeah, this was a good book to pick up for.
Yeah, this is a good. This would be a worthwhile investment potentially. But let's talk about the actual story itself. Do you think Brick is Red X, or do you think it's a red herring?
It's got to be a red herring. It's issue 1.
Yeah.
You don't throw something like that out there in issue 1 unless it's like an in-panel reveal where they take the mask off and it's them.
Yep.
So you got a little mystery going on, which I'm interested in. You got a lot of cool characters. One thing I wanted to talk about, which is like a little weird. Did you notice the 2 standout strange attendants to the Titans Academy? There were 2 that stood out to me. One was an upperclassman and one wasn't.
Say that again?
One was an upperclassman who was on like their sort of junior Teen Titans, and then one wasn't.
Are you talking about Jakeem Thunder?
Jakeem Thunder was one. Did you notice the other extremely heavy hitter that's for some reason attending Teen Titans Academy?
I definitely did when I read it, but I can't think of it at the moment. Who was it?
Billy Batson, Shazam.
Oh, yeah, Shazam, just hanging out there.
That felt super weird.
Yeah, this guy's done stuff with the Justice League. Why is he hanging out here?
Yeah,
so I get it. He's a kid.
Well, it's also weird because none of the other members of the Shazam League are there.
Yeah.
Right. It's a little weird that like Freddie Freeman, Mary Marvel, fair. She was 17. She's probably going to college now. So okay, fine.
Yeah.
No Mary Marvel, but he has, I believe, 5 other. There's 6 of them total. Why is only Billy at Teen Titans Academy, or why is Billy at Teen Titans Academy at all? I'm curious, especially because he was just in the background. They mention his name twice in the book, and he shows up in like 6 or 7 panels. So I think he's gonna become more important.
Yeah.
And I'm curious because I really like Shazam. So like, it would kind of suck if you just got relegated to a background character, especially when Black Adam is becoming a member of the Justice League.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
And so I wanted to talk about those 2 characters specifically showing up because that marks that's 5 members of the JSA that are in other books. So now I'm sad.
That's what you meant when you said that it doesn't feel like we're going to be getting a
Yeah, because Jakeem, Captain Marvel, who is only in for a short while, but whatever. Stargirl and Stripe are going to be in their own book, so that's close enough. But then you also have Alan Scott, Obsidian, and Jade also being part of the multiverse.
The multiverse squad.
Yeah, so there's like a lot of characters from the JS. Black Canary was also, as I said, Black Canary, Hawkwoman. They're in the Justice League. Hippolyta's in the Justice League. So kind of feels a little bit like we won't get some JSA, which is a bummer. But
the fact that these characters are here at all is
nice. I hope so. Jay Garrick is on the cover of Flash 761, whatever it is, the new Flash book where Wally West takes over finally. So hopefully we get to see a little more Jay. I think Ted Grant was in one of these books somewhere, but I don't remember.
Might have. I think it was in Infinite Frontier. Like a little cameo and like the.
Yeah, he was in like the pictures. It would be So there's some JSA characters I'd like to see at least show up in other books. But anyway, back to Titans Academy, what we were actually talking about. They brought back a couple of Titan members from the New 52, who my knowledge of the Teen Titans isn't very vast, so forgive me if he appeared previously. But the kid who makes the purple constructs, he's like kind of like a Green Lantern.
Yeah.
He was in the New 52 version of the Teen Titans, so it was cool to see him. I mean, I'm happy to see Jakeem Thunder in a book doing things.
Yep.
That will never. Like I'm not annoyed at that. It's cool that there's a lot of generations of the Teen Titans, right? You have Dick and Starfire and Raven and Beast Boy. Then you have sort of like, I don't want to say second stringers, but they call them the
like you have some of the newer characters from the Rebirth run, like Roundhouse and Crush.
Yep. And then you've got this sort of new age of Titans.
Yep.
What appears Gorilla Greg again, the best character. I'm just looking at the cover right here. You have someone who looks very similar to Ragman.
Stitch.
Yeah, Stitch.
Stitch was their name. And then you have the Gotham Orphan trio.
Yep. The orphans who are sponsored by Dick Grayson, which is funny. This girl who has a flash pencil top, who you don't see do a lot in the first issue, actually.
Yeah, but it's obvious she's going to become a speedster if you look at the Infinite Frontier spread.
Yep. So, this one, like, sort of similarly to Wonder Woman, this one feels like it could actually end up having a lot of wide-reaching implications for the entirety of the DC universe because there's so many characters in the book.
Exactly. There's so many new characters and there's new just new things they could to explore.
This is a book where they could introduce and integrate anyone they wanted by just making them a new student who transfers in, right?
Yep.
So like you're like, oh well, like there's not enough speedsters. Like Barry Allen's off the planet. Jay Garrick's really old. He has arthritis. Like we need a new speedster. Here we go. The Bat family's too big. Well, let's ship 3 of them off to Teen Titans Academy.
Yeah.
One thing in this book that was a little weird, there was like some, not odd, I don't want to say odd, but there was like sexual tension between Starfire and Dick Grayson. Like
that's from the cartoon. This was appealing hard to fans of the Teen Titans cartoon.
So like I said, it wasn't odd because I know why. He dated her in the books too. Like that was the thing. But in Nightwing, he and Barbara Gordon act the exact same way with each other that they do, that he does with Starfire in this book. They should, comic books month to month have never been known for their tight continuity.
Yeah.
But they should tighten that one up because Dick Grayson being the pinnacle of heroics and then also 2-timing would be a bad look.
Yeah. While also playing the field.
Yeah. That would be a weird call. The Starfire one was like a little like Dick and Barbara were like they're like a thing, and we know they're a thing. And for a lot of people, that's the relationship. That's the one that Nightwing should be with. But for a lot of people our age who grew up on the comics, or not the comics, the cartoons, you don't even know who Oracle is, right?
Yeah.
So if Starfire is sort of our Dick Grayson pairing.
Yeah.
So that's one. Again, that's a super huge nitpick, continuity wise.
Yeah, I guess random thing worth mentioning, since like I said, this book is geared heavily towards fans of the cartoon. The Teen Titans cartoon never explicitly says that it's Dick. Like as Robin. They never explicitly state which Robin it is. Yeah. They heavily imply that it's Dick, but they never like straight up say it.
The only one we know it's not is Damian, because he didn't exist.
Yep. Yeah.
It was probably Dick Grayson,
but pretty much confirms that it was Dick in the cartoon. Even though it's technically a different universe, it's you get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, especially so, and then they came up with they brought Young Justice out too, and that one stars Dick Grayson for the most part. And that's definitely why he's a headliner in this book, because Young Justice is coming back soon.
Yeah.
And Young Justice and Teen Titans are an extremely similar concept and name.
Yep.
So I think that's it for Future State Infinite Frontier books.
Yeah, I think we got them all.
Like we said, there's a few things coming up. Flash comes out this Tuesday. We will both be picking that up, I believe. Yeah, because you're picking up everything.
A continuation of everything next month with the addition of Green Lantern.
Yep, and then in June, a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
The Stargirl and the 7 Soldiers of Victory. Infinite Frontier #1 comes out in June.
I believe Robin #1 comes out in April.
Yes. Robin comes out in April. I think in June is also Milestone, right?
It's either June or July. It's one of the J months.
So we got a lot of stuff coming up. Anything in particular you're looking forward to, book wise?
Milestone for sure.
For sure. Of course.
Yeah. I've been following The Dreaming because I'm a big into the Sandman universe. So that's pretty cool. Looking forward to getting more of that. Whenever the Sandman Lock and Key crossover decides to come out.
Yeah.
I'm here for whenever.
Yeah.
Infinite Frontier #1, I'm obviously extremely excited for. Other than that, I would say those are the big ones.
Yeah, for me, it's Stargirl and the Seven Soldiers, Jeff Johns in an 80-page giant, of
Yep.
course, for me.
Oh, Wonder Girl for both of us, duh.
Yes, Wonder Girl, of course. That's in May? April? That one's sooner than later.
Yeah.
And also, like I said, like Tamaki Mora on Detective have made me more excited for a Batman title than I think I've ever been.
Yeah.
And then
I would
Justice
say
League and
the,
Nightwing, of course. Like I
based
said.
on the titles that have already come out, the ones that I am most excited for are Batman, which is a sentence I never thought I would say.
Super weird.
Yeah. Batman, Superman, actually.
Yeah. That was a standout.
Yeah, it was. The Joker, again, like a lot of bat love that I wasn't expecting to be giving. Justice League, and Nightwing, I would say, are the highlights so far of this initiative.
I would agree. I gotta throw Swamp Thing in the mix. I'm always excited to see where Swamp Thing goes. But yeah.
Yep. Some of the other one, like Harley Quinn, I just didn't care for. The story was fine, but it hurts my eyes. And like other books for me, like Wonder Woman and Teen Titans Academy, we have to give the first arc or two.
Yeah, some of these books need some time to breathe, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, I think that about wraps it up.
I think so.
I'll try to be a little more consistent now that I don't have COVID, unless John gets COVID.
I don't plan on it,
Yeah,
but we'll see. We'll see where that goes.
Quadruple mask.
Oh, yep.
We're gonna have to talk about some more TV stuff. We're probably gonna do some older books and go over those too.
Yep.
I've promised to finally read Sandman, so.
Yeah. Someday you'll find the collected editions.
They're not that hard to find. It's just like anytime I find them for a good deal, I don't have the money to spend on them.
Yep.
It's really frustrating. Because they look really nice. They got like the leather binding and they're black and they're like they're embossed.
They went off on Sandman for like I guess good reason, but also for whatever reason. It's very clear that of all the Vertigo books, that's the one they care about the most.
Yeah, like compared to all their other like big books, like all of them have like binding issues, or like my JSA volumes, like the actual cover part underneath the dust jacket is like just black, and like they were like, yeah, Neil Gaiman wrote Sandman.
We're just gonna make it a grimoire.
Yeah, let's just go the fuck off. Like,
yeah,
this is it. All right, so we're gonna get out of here. Thank you for watching, and we will see you all next time.
See you around.